Good morning, Curtis. How are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing, brother?
All right. Good morning. Good morning. Let me turn the light on. Hey, there we go. Yes, yes. How are you?
Good to see you, man. I'm good.
Great, great, great.
It's good. How you feeling?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yes. We had a nice meeting yesterday with this company that has this new product called the Tower Gardens, and they have a way where you could grow your own food. And I was thinking about you and your students having the ability to have the kids, create their own and build and grow their own vegetables and fruit. And it's a great situation. And what was happening is that I got a part of being one of the distributors, and I was going to donate a tower garden to your school, and
Beautiful.
it'll be free, no charge, but the ability to have the kids. I mean, it's something that kids really get into, and it's an incredible situation. I sent a video explaining everything about it. And so we'll have another Zoom in the next couple of days, and you can check it out.
Beautiful. That sounds great.
Yeah, that's something really cool. All right, here we go. Somebody else is here. Okay. Yes, hello. They're still joining.
Okay.
So today, basically, the agenda is the funding of this international situation. Hold on a sec.
Yeah, sure.
There we go. I'm back. I'm back.
All right.
Sorry about that. I got cut off trying to get my buddy in, Mr. Ray and Andrews. Ray,
Mhm.
are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. Great. Great. Fantastic.
We're gonna cancel that one.
Okay. So Ray was the main guy I wanted to talk to you, Mr. Benjamin Leb. He is the one who really facilitates the other company from Europe called the Erasmus, and it's an incredible situation where they fund other programs, educational programs, and we're going to start with him. Once we get a couple more people, I think we're good already. Really, there may be other people that come on board, but let's just jump in and start right now.
I think a lot of
Okay,
people
so-
are based on thinking in the meeting, based on our last time for coming for the later meeting in 5 hours. So I think a lot of people are gonna miss it based on that.
Right.
But
Benjamin Lev was the main guy I wanted you guys to talk to right now. So we got him, and let's just jump into it and go.
Hey, pleasure to meet
All right.
you.
Hi, Benjamin.
How are you?
I'm good. We're good. Yeah, sitting in the house working.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My name
I
is
know.
Pavlos. I'm the producer and yeah, musician.
I'm from
Okay.
the United States, but I live in Denmark. He's from Lithuania, but he lives in Denmark.
All right. Oh, my family's Lithuanian. That's cool.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, Lithuanian from my father's side, Polish from my mother's side.
Rozumie po polsku? Trochę?
I'm sorry?
Rozumie po polsku? Trochę. Do you understand Polish a little bit?
Oh no, I don't. I speak Spanish and I speak English. I don't know any Polish. No, I'm sorry.
My son's Polish.
And
Oh,
no
cool. That's
Lithuanian?
But
nice.
but
No,
I,
I've never been.
no. Well, I mean, they're so close to each other. It's funny because Lithuania and Poland is cousins. They come from the Duchess
Yeah,
of Lithuania.
but
the
languages
Duchess.
are a bit different.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, the cultural aspects there, because they were like union a long time ago.
Mm.
So
So how come all the good basketball players wound up in Lithuania and not in Poland?
that's I don't know how to explain this.
Because Lithuania really fell into the cultural love of basketball when it was visiting in the 1970s and 80s, and when they had really good players like Sarunas, Marcelonis,
And Sabonis.
and Sabonis.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
These old school,
Yeah,
old
those
school
are the
dudes.
those are the guys, man.
Everyone like
Yeah.
loved them and followed them.
Yeah.
So.
For a long time. And so it's funny because they mirror Yugoslavia, Slovenia. So it's a really small country, like 2 million. Like in Lithuania, 3 million now. 3 point, but it might be lower than 3.
Yeah,
It might be
around
2
three,
points.
yeah.
Yeah. But so those two countries, they have like 8 players in the NBA.
Oh yeah, no, Lithuania killed it, man. I always root for the Lithuanians when they're playing the U.S. in basketball. Yeah, I remember I grew up in Las Vegas, and when I was growing up, UNLV, Nevada, Las Vegas had those real
Yeah.
good basketball teams, and one year it was maybe like 1987, 1986, the Soviet national team came in to play to play UNLV, and I think Sabonis was on that team.
Yeah.
Because my dad was really excited. He had followed Sabonis and was telling me about this guy that if he was in the NBA right now, he'd be the best player in the NBA. We're gonna get a chance to see him. It was cool. But pleasure to meet you guys. So Ray and the gentleman in the back, I didn't catch your name. What was your name?
Pavlis.
Yeah, Pavlos. My artist name is Paul Monroe. You can call me Paul.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have to say one more thing. You know, it's not just in basketball. It's the same thing with soccer, with the national team. They all play for Germany. So all the really good players who are Polish in ethnicity, they play for the German team. But that's okay. You don't have to.
Yeah, Lewandowski, right?
Yeah. No, but Lewandowski is Polish.
Yeah, but he plays in Germany.
Yes, but he plays for the Polish national team. But I'm talking about there's a lot of players who play for the German national team who are
Oh, I
ethnically
see.
Polish.
Got it. I see what you're saying. Got it.
So I can name a whole bunch of them. But that's okay. We can talk about that another time.
So I'd love to hear, about the work that you all are doing and what you see as possibilities with Erasmus. I checked it out online and it seems like pretty broad what you're able to do with that organization. So I'm curious to hear what you're up to and what you see as
Yeah,
possible
but the
collaboration.
Erasmus program is only a funding program. It's an educational funding program under the EU. So our work is not just under Erasmus. Ours is actually Erasmus is just a fund. We're just a benefactor. I've been writing applications for the Erasmus program, which in its earlier days was called the youth program. And then it later became Youth in Action. And then it later became Youth for Europe. And now it became Erasmus. So, and over that 23 years basis, there's been a lot of changes in the program, but we are only benefactors. It's a very transparent, open program. And what you're seeing today under Erasmus is actually even more growth. Because when we first started, the budget was only 646 million euro. Now it's 13.7 billion, and it's even more in 2021 to 2027. So,
Wow. Okay.
and it comprises with more opportunity for everyone to be able to see the program and break the program down. Like the KA1 is mobility and seminars and exchanges, but KA2 is strategic partnerships, and KA3 is competency-based ed programs linked with strategic partnerships and educational forms, how to push educational structures like vocational educational training or informal education. So it's more opportunities. So all the money is in a box for everyone's opportunity, not just schools or institutions or stats directorate, which means roads, public service, public works, public service.
Cool. So do you want me to start speaking about our school,
Yeah.
or is there like a particular initiative that you were interested in which we might collaborate?
Sure. Good question based on because we're always having to transcribe how to move from a domestic project to a national project or European-based project, and in our discussion, maybe a international cooperation because the United States is not in the EU. So you have your own federation. So the EU, of course, is trying to push more global networking, and this is very important, especially in some of the areas of the like the COVID pandemic and how to have contact tracing. They're dealing with things like climate change. In 2020, we thought we'd be doing other things or put energy into other places, not recovering from over almost a year. But what we can talk about is how to set up seminars or meetings so that we can come together and meet digitally, online, to create the applications that we will probably do in 2021, 2022, because this year is going to be an evaluationary year. It's almost like we're 2 or 3 steps backwards. So answering your question, this year, 21 to 27 should have been the launch of the Erasmus Plus second part. Erasmus Plus really started in 2014 to 2020. So 20 should have been an evaluationary year, finishing final reporting of a program. But the COVID happened. And there was a whole bunch of crazy stuff happening. And then the same time, the UK was leaving the EU. That's 3 countries. That's all education in English. You understand? So in a sense, so everything's kind of farther behind, but that's maybe good for us, because that means that we can slowly evolve into writing seminars on how to network, how to cooperate between schools and institutions, and what tools we'll be using. So anything you're interested in proposing, as long as we can put it into that structure that you can, I'll send you the program guide under the Erasmus program. We will be able to maybe do something. We can do things in advance digitally, and then we can do things once things open up in exchange.
And then under the umbrella of the Humanity Coalition, it seems like whatever we would want to do would be based in creating greater opportunity, creating more equitable outcomes for our students, their larger community, something to that effect, correct?
Probably. I mean, remember, I'm kind of new to the whole aspect of the Humanity Coalition. I'm just joining, and I'm just using some of the techniques that we're using over here. And maybe I was thinking, related to your middle school, we can talk about some things, because I work a lot with digital online work, and I actually work a lot with Google platform stuff. And so some of those elements I thought I would share and we would talk about, because there's a lot of growth in that.
Let me jump in and say, you know, under the auspices of education, I was thinking that, you know, Hamilton Grange Middle School was standing on its own legs as far as the potential of getting their own funding for their own individual programs that they might have, you know, for their students. This is a great school. Hamilton Grange Middle School has 800 students. So they do more than fit the mold of a program, an educational program that we should think about, like, and they're on their own feet, you know what I mean? As opposed to being a part of the Humanity Coalition.
You want to say something, Ben?
No, I'm just kind of taking it all in. I've got sort of like a preconceived. I've got a couple ideas that maybe, you know, in looking at the Erasmus program stuff that you sent to me earlier, Curtis, that sort of piqued my interest as a way that we might do work that supports the larger work of the Humanity Coalition, and that would fit within Erasmus's funding guidelines. So an example of that is that this past summer, most of our students identify as Dominican, right? We're a largely Dominican community. So a lot of our kids, if they are not immigrants themselves, their parents immigrated to this country over the last, 10, 20 years for most kids. Because of that, we've got a club that meets 3 times a week during the school day called Hispaniola History. So kids learning about, the history of the island of Hispaniola, the colonization, how Haiti chose to operate a little bit differently, declare their liberation, while the Dominicans on the eastern side of the island sort of sided with the Spanish and used the Spanish to get out some other colonizers, and how that's created two like very different outcomes on the western and eastern side of the island. So this past summer we were scheduled to do 11 days in the Dominican Republic, and we were going to meet up with we'd connected with a middle school there in Santiago de los Caballeros in the north of the country, where we were going to have the opportunity to interact with students and just get to learn a little bit more about life in the Dominican Republic versus life in New York, and what might be some of the push and pull factors that draw folks from the DR to the United States. However, COVID canceled all that. So I could foresee something similar, because it looked like in the funding, in order for a project that included the US to be funded, it looked like there were 2 other countries that would have to be involved. So, I mean, Dominican Republic and Haiti would be ideal, just because so many of our students hail from those 2 countries. But I also wanted to do, Curtis, I told you about this before, and this is why I was so interested in the Humanity Coalition, is that we've been doing so much work at our school around learning more about how we can proactively be anti-racist, not just as educators, but as a school community, trying to bring more abolitionist practices into our teaching. And in a community that is largely Dominican, despite the fact that so many of these folks are dark-skinned, they don't necessarily identify as Black, because in the Dominican Republic, that there's just a lot of colorism. And so one of the things that I was hoping to do is that we could bring parents into this work of sort of learning about just how, I mean, it's been tough conversations with parents, but with kids, we can speak about social justice. We can teach them how to be activists. We can teach them how to be agitators in their community around racial justice. It's a little bit different for the parents. Of course, there's parents who are on board, but there are other parents that just don't believe that racism is a part of their lives because they do not identify as Black, but they identify as Dominican, despite the fact that they are dark skinned. So I don't know. I also see the potential for a lot of work there, and I'm just this is of course in its nascent stages. So I'm curious to hear what others are thinking in terms of this project.
Well, with me,
Well,
I hear a lot of parallels in Spain between the Marxists and Marcos. I mean, during the 1950s, and I see there's a big. It's the same thing in India. It's so I can see a lot of parallels. Barcelona, and the reason why we call it Barcelona is because of the same thing. They wanted to follow the king who had a lisp. And instead of us adapting, saying to the king, look, motherfucker, you got a lisp. You say, oh, okay, cool. We might say it that way then.
That's funny.
That's funny.
So it's true. So, but you understand, and this is very prevalent, color skin, what you're talking about. You understand? So this is a very important story. And this is one of the things I deal with, is how to write a program and creating a problem tree so you can describe where the conflict is and how your project will resolve or create a resolution for these aspects, or at least address them, because not everything is going to be resolved, but when you bring it out into the light, it gives more air to it and its ability to be discussed. And that's what we are running into racism. It wasn't under Donald Trump. It was because when Obama came out, it opened up that door in a positive way. And then so it opened up the ability for people, different people, to digress. The time that Blacks died the most was at the end of the Civil War when they were freed. Then they had no value anymore. Then they killed us. You understand? Okay, cool. Well, you're not a property anymore. So sometimes you have to look at that, and it needs to be discussed. And I see this as being very prevalent, and the differences between the different ethnicity in each of the South American countries. They all are different. They act like everything is Mexico. It's not. And the islands. And actually, the islands have a lot of opportunities for getting money. Like St. Martin's is actually French and Dutch. And you have so it's a very interesting topic as I see it. But
So, and do you
Well,
see, Ray, it sounds like, you noted like the colorism in India, the caste system in India. You mentioned
yeah,
Spain. So do you see like potential partnership?
major in India.
Yeah. Yeah, Isabel Wilkerson just wrote that great book about caste in India, that after writing that other great book about the civil rights movement and the Great Migration, and to explore the parallels. So, I mean, is that what you're foreseeing as possibly a direction that we go? Getting
Well,
kids together from different
these
nations
are
to
the
explore similar
discussions that's
topics?
happening during an exchange. Our job is just to set up the structure, the skeleton structure that you can move in these themes. Do you understand? So what is that structure? That you have cooperating partners who have young people who are coming in, a new young people coming in that they're educating, and then giving that opportunity to be a part of a program where people's coming in from other countries and cooperating. It's just the same thing that sports teams grow from the same philosophy. In fact, the EU is really pushing grassroots sports. You understand? This is just one of the elements, because grassroots sports does many positive things, including active youth, setting up networks. It opens up other avenues. It creates many different things, and it teaches culture. Like handball in Denmark was created in Denmark. It's a sport that was created so that during the wintertime you could practice soccer, in a sense, the structure of soccer, and it became an international sport. Hip hop is now in the Olympics as an international sport. I'm not sure in what form, but it's kind of cool. Right?
Break dancing, I believe, is coming to the
yes.
Olympics.
Yeah, break
Oh,
dance.
yeah. 2024. I want to welcome Chris Flo,
Okay.
Hey guys,
and also my buddy John Howell. John Howell is one of my alumni buddies who went to PS 192 with us.
That's right. I met John.
Yes. So he's here as well. And Chris is very interested in having his program over in Louisville, Kentucky, being a part of the Erasmus program as well.
and one of the things I wanted to add to piggyback off what Kurt was saying, and I was listening to what you guys were saying, I have an interesting program. I have programs inside my program. We all kinfolk, we deal with student athletes, which my son will be signing on to a college and $160,000 scholarship today at in Louisville time at 12:30 for Hanover College. It's a very prestigious college. And I told one of their board of trustees about what you guys was doing. Vice President Pence graduated from this prestigious college, and they do a lot of networking and funding, and with international students. Also, my son won a scholarship, the Pendleton Scholarship, that is a scholarship that was named after the first slave in the 1800s that went to Hanover. So he was the first Black person to ever go to this prestigious college. But I said all of that to say this: my program has a thing called the PRP program, and I call it the Parent Resource Program. What I'm finding with dealing with these youth between the ages, our focus is between the ages of 18 and 25. And in America, that's what the government are funding all the money towards, because out of 5.3 million young people between the ages of 18 and 25, 3.3 million of them don't have jobs. So what I've done with my parent resource program, I've given these parents the necessary resources to help their kids with education, help their kids pick a school. Because what I'm finding out, you'd be surprised the families that don't know where to go get assistance with LG&E or their water bill or where to go and get food. So my church has a program called Feed the City. So what we do, we have a program in Louisville called Dare to Care. Dare to Care donates food to other nonprofits. So you'd be surprised when a kid can go pick up a bag of food. We got a walk-in freezer down in our basement of our church, and we load it up with meats. So the Parent Resource Program are giving additional resources to the families that don't know that these resources are out there. So I think I would like to bring that to the table. And because it boils down to, I might know where to get a social security card at, I might know where to get an ID but another person don't have a clue. You'd be surprised that the 18-year-old young men that don't have IDs are never taking a driver's test. So this PRP, Parent Resource Program, is a program that was initiated to give information to families that's caught up in that poverty circle.
Right. That's great. That's great, Chris. But you're already hooked up with Ray. I think he has your information,
Yes.
and he's making a way to network with you over in Louisville. So what we want to do is get the information of Benjamin Lev to Ray so that we could start that process. Okay?
Okay.
Ray?
Yeah. The thing about with them also, I just want to make it clear. As long as quickly as I can link some of the stuff with the school, I can show you some of the stuff we're doing with schools. So I worked for 14 years for a school called Issoy Ungdom School. Issoy Ungdom School means Issoy, which is the town, and Ungdom School means youth school. Ungdom means youth and school, of course. And I also am the kind of second in charge of the Ungdoms Club, which means youth club. It's afternoon activity. So you know how like schools usually have 3 periods. You have day school from 8 to 3 in the afternoon. Then you have afternoon activities, sports and everything else from 3 to 5:30, and then you have evening activity. Then I'm running the evening activity at the Ungdoms Club, and our kids are from the age of 13 till 18. But we do have an extra group from 19 to 25, but they're in another club, more hardcore, older. So, I would really like to get your information, and then we can share, because I'm teaching Web 2.0 and Journalism 101, and my kids make Google mapping of their area, and that's very good with schools. We also work with Lego, which is a Danish company, Lego, and we have 3D printing machines and stuff. So we're working with a lot of different things, and I want us to start thinking we can apply for this stuff in the United States. Maybe it has been something that seems like it's not possible, but it is possible. There is more money, and you have to, there's money for this in the United States. We're not just talking about Europe. I moved to Europe and started 20 something years ago and started working on application of this because it was a new fund that was opening. But now we're 20 something years old. And some of the funds in the United States that's just starting, it's just under the new the act under Biden. So we can look at things. I sent out a listing of EU funds, and I sent out a listing of US funds. So we can do both. We can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Speak for yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
When I say that to men, they're like, "No, I don't do that." That's what my wife does. She's the one who walks and chews gum.
Hey, Kurt, I think Ray don't never sleep.
Doesn't sound like it. And
Ray be on it, man.
Congratulations to your son too. That's huge, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. When me and my wife figured out we don't have to pay for college, she started doing the holy dance. Cause we paid over $35,000 for him to go to this
Guys there?
prestigious Catholic school in
Oh,
Trinity in Louisville, and we paid, but it ended up paying off because they're a college preparatory school. So he's been on a big platform, and Curtis been following him for years. Curtis is his uncle. Curtis remember when he was first born. So my second son was born when me and Curtis was on tour. So I had to fly back to Detroit in 1999. So now we're back, you know, he's 13 years old now, and the other one's 18. So these are the last of the two Mohicans. So we're almost empty nesters, but you know, I realized that you're never an empty nester. They always come back through the back door.
Well, that's
So,
great, man. You got a good return on that $35,000 investment.
right. And my wife's in the car too, Katrina. She does real estate, and I'm gonna try to get her on some of these calls. She does real estate here in Louisville, and she's getting her master's degree in what?
Marriage and family therapy.
Marriage and family therapy. So we're gonna add her to the team. She got 2 more years for that. So
Yes, I really am happy about that, because we need more women and ideas, because I talked to Curtis about before. He may be thinking I'm crazy, but that was very nice with Michelle and Nadia, and women voice makes everything so much better. You can see during the coronavirus,
Absolutely.
all countries that was run by women were running way more effective than the men.
Yes.
right. Oh, why'd you tell her that? Come on, Ray, be easy
It's the
on me.
truth. The truth hurts.
It's true.
The truth
I
hurts.
know it. It hurt. You just hit me in the gut.
well, I'll
up.
tell you the truth. I'm getting ready. We are getting ready to put together our board of directors, and we need your help. We need some female participation, and so I'll be getting back to everyone on that level. Ray, you too. Mr. Benjamin, you too as well. If you guys are interested, we need a great group of people to be on our board. And that's going to be the group of people who actually make all the decision for the Humanity Coalition and actually run the company, the organization. So I'll get back to you. We'll have a meeting about that if you're interested.
And there is a meeting still at 5 hours, correct?
Yes.
It's just
We'll
the
follow up
APM.
with everybody.
Okay.
All right.
So
No
those
problem.
who can make it would be great. Can I send you a link to the Google mapping, what we do for schools and all the stuff with Google? It's very easy. I make photospheres. The kids will be able to make the photospheres, and they'll be able to link them together to make what's called a blue line. So you can move from constellation to constellation.
That's some incredible stuff.
With the same thing you saw with the museum, my 11-year-olds make that. My 11-year-olds make a Minecraft map.
The 360 situation is incredible. I think that will be a great project.
Yes.
We can also have for the kids over at Hamilton Grange as well. If you're interested, Mr. Benjamin.
Yeah, I'd love to learn more about it for sure.
Yes. I'll send you something right when we're finished. So, and you can just look at it, and then I can help you.
Actually, it's a STEM program as well, right? Would you say that,
Ray? It is a STEM
Ray?
program, and we have a STEM program specifically designed for women. We want women in science and technology and engineering.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is, I'm signed on as River Productions, but I'm actually Sarah Dash from LaBelle. Curtis, you didn't know my other name. So I'm here. Yes, I'm here, and I'm listening to what you're saying about women. Definitely, that's part of what I mostly do now, that where I want you to really introduce myself. I'm from the group LaBelle, where there was Nona Hendricks, Patti LaBelle, LaBelle, and I'm Sarah Dash.
Legend.
I'm also the music and arts ambassador for Trenton, New Jersey. And I'm also a trustee for the Philharmonic Orchestra. I'm a top lady of distinction. I've served on the as a governor for 8 years with the Grammys. I've been on their Blue Ribbon Committee. I function very well in organizational skills. So Curtis will give me all the information to hook up with the wives and the women. And I'm so happy to listen to you all this morning. I've been monitoring every call that you've had. So it's a pleasure to see the work that you're doing. It really does my heart really well to see that kind of energy. So I'm going to listen some more. Check it out.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Nice
Miss
meeting you.
Sarah Dash. That's the legend, Sarah Dash. Oh my gosh. And I want to let you guys know she is one of my top picks for being on the board of directors. She knows that I have asked her already, so she's thinking about it, and hopefully she'll commit. All right. Praise God. All right. So let's wind it down. Like I said, we have a networking situation where we want to get Ray all the information that he needs, and he's going to go to work and make this happen with Erasmus and the Humanity Coalition. Amen.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Okay.
Ray?
Hey, Curtis.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
what do you? Yes,
Can I
Chris, I
say
hear
one
you.
thing, Curtis? Before you go,
Yes.
could you allow me to share my screen so I can show the virtual map of one of the schools in Chicago, I think it is, or in Grand
Oh,
Rapids?
sure. No problem.
Okay. So tell me when it's ready.
You could show. Oh, I gotta make you the host.
Yeah, just say enable it for me to be administrating.
Let me check on. Let me go to participants.
Yep.
Make host. There you go.
Okay. So I'm now just showing my screen. Okay. So this is one of the things we make, which is a virtual tour of a school called City Middle High School. It's in, I can't remember. I think it's in Michigan because I had jobs for the school district where we gave a presentation from Google. Okay. So do you see the school? Everyone can kind of see this. I can move the school around. I can take steps. I can go down the steps if I want to, or I can go in the building. Right now, I'm going into one of the links, which is the school's link, Grand Rapids Public School, the leader, a video to one of their events. And this, the kids made, but we can put anything they want as information. Okay. But notice this X here.
That's great.
So I'm still in the virtual tour. So
hey, Ray, can you show them the Bronx and the museum?
Yeah, but that's on the website.
Okay, no problem.
But we could do both. Yeah, I'm just so I wanted you guys to see that actually it should walk. I should be able to walk into the building and walk around.
Mm-hmm.
But my computer, because we're working and I have a network and we're recording, it might be kind of messed up. But now I'm going to leave and I'm going to go to the website, which Curtis is talking about. This is the website where we put out information, right? And then I put a Google map in, right? Well, it's under action or our team, excuse me. There it is. And this is a Google map, excuse me. Again, you can see it's kind of chunking around because I'm doing 2 or 3 different things at the same time. But right when I can go into that map, I can type up the address of anything, including anything that we type in on the coding. Come on. It's just a little slow. It's because I went straight from your internet connection is unstable. Probably. I'm calling from Denmark.
Ready to think about it? What if you get on there and say, my real name is Tinkerbell.
Hi, my real name is Poo Poo.
My real name is Poo Poo.
If anyone wants to give their presentation about anything, you can while I'm just waiting for this to move effectively. But everyone can look at the website themselves. If you go into the map, you will be able to see that the map itself can take in your information from your schools or your institutions. That is our center of information. That's our Google map, and the Google map represents all of us because it actually represents the earth, right? I wish I could show it to you and things weren't, okay, now I'm here. And I'm not sure how much you guys can see. Can you guys see the map right now?
See a lot of things.
There
See
we
the
go.
map now.
Yep.
There's the map.
It's because it was running a whole bunch. Right now I'm saying Hip Hop Hall of Fame. It's not built yet, but we can go in. But let's say we don't go into there. We go into the New York Knicks, Madison Square Garden. And now from our website, I'm on the field, the court of Madison Square Garden is coming up under Google. And this is what we can do. The same thing you saw the building of the City High School in Grand Rapids. That's the same thing as this. And you can see that there's different floors. I can go from floor 1 or I can go to floor 2. You see, I'm on the second floor of the
Wow, look.
of the Madison Square Garden.
Go into
I can go
Google
to,
and go
like,
to the building on Google.
this is me going to the Utah Jazz.
You said what? He's in the
Utah
Utah
Jazz.
Jazz's arena from
Yep.
Google.
I'm going to add in later on the middle school for the New York Nets, Barclays Center. You see? Now I'm looking at the Barclays Center, and I can walk down the street. You see my point? So these are all, we are on a global network that's all being controlled by satellites in the sky. So why not use it effective for us? So I know my computer is kind of slow, but overall, this is in our network. So I will put up.
Chris, go on mute. Chris, go on mute, Chris.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So I just wanted to show this as an example. I want to make things like this with the schools because it's not me, it's the young kids themselves. And everyone has the ability to make it themselves if they buy a camera or if they have an iPhone, they can put a program called Google Street View on, and I can teach you how to make photospheres yourself. Okay?
That's
what I just
awesome.
wanted to
Incredible.
I will put you on this the middle school in New York if we could cooperate. It'd be great. Okay.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to get off, but I do have a question. That's the reason that you wanted to put We All Kinfolk on Google.
Well, yes, because your location is the most important thing for being found. So this is the idea that everyone needs to be on a platform. The platform is on Google Earth. I mean, on Google's platform because it's so international. Everyone knows it.
Right. I'm going to get off here. I got to go to my son's signing, but the other call tonight is going to be what time?
Oh, it's at in 5 hours approximately from now. Is that correct, Kurt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and Kurt, you'll be sending the link to the email or the phone or both.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Okay.
I enjoyed what I did learn, and I'll talk to you guys later. God bless you.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. God bless.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
All right. So this is something that is amazing, Ray. I think the 360 possibilities for Hamilton Grange will be incredible too. It's another feather in the cap.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want? I'm sorry. I'm not to interrupt you. It's because I'm very interested in it. Is your kids want to learn how to make music with Logic or with what was the other program? Hey, what's the other program the kids learn about? Garage? Did we buy GarageBand?
No, GarageBand is free, but Logic, it's Logic and yeah.
And then the gaming platform,
Unity.
So if we send over some links to making learning and education under Udemy, which is a kind of educational online platform for learning, we can teach Unity, which is a Danish platform company making games. You can make games that looks like Dig Dug or Mario Brothers. And it teaches scripting, how to write scripting, and then Logic, right? Learning how to do sequencing and tracking. So this is kind of because, so would that be something? We would send you something and then you can review it and see if that's the type of education online that we can cooperate with. And then we would have a teacher giving a kind of webinar sometimes.
So today is Wednesday. We'll meet again next week and follow up with the
Benjamin's mic is off.
Who?
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I muted myself because I got some background noise here. Yeah, that sounds great. Our kids have experimented with digital music production. Last year we haven't done it in the remote setting since we went remote in March. And I'm going to send you all. I'm just awaiting a couple large files. We had a music video put together of some of our students that were part of our spoken word poetry club. They took tracks that were made by some of the students in our digital music production club, and they rapped over them. Very, very cool stuff. I'll share it with you guys as soon as I get the files. You'll be super impressed.
Okay. You have my email?
I think you are on the email that Curtis sent out. Let me check.
Yeah, futureculture@hotmail.com.
Future culture.
Culture with a K.
Okay.
I've had that email since 1994.
Yep, I got it.
All right.
So
all right, gentlemen. Well, thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I look forward to seeing what you send, Ray and Curtis. Again, thank you for the opportunity. Definitely excited for the possibilities.
No problem. We're gonna make it happen.
Oh yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for calling in. All right.
Bye-bye.
We'll get back to you.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. All right, guys. We'll talk later.
See you, Kurt. See you in 5 hours.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.